Hello, Sugar Skulls. I have a new DC Reboot 52 review, and it is also brought to you by my regular comic book, my self-published comic series, The Red Knight. Check out the information below if you want to order a copy. Issue 1's out now. Issue 2 is going to be out very soon. Meanwhile, Catwoman #1 just came out. This is her third #1, by the way. The first time she got a #1 was, I think it was post-Nightfall, just after, or it was during Nightfall, that whole thing. Yes, it was. And, let's see, that was Jim Ballant. I don't remember who wrote the original Catwoman series. And then, of course, Darwin Cook came and did a fantastic job with his Catwoman series. As a matter of fact, that stuck with the character so much that, you know, she still has her costume, even through all this reboot craziness. She still has her costume. Although I've never been a big fan of the way, as much as I love Gullum March's art, I've never been a big fan of the way he draws her goggles. I always feel like he draws them way too big, to the point where they don't seem to fit right. That's a nitpick. But it's Judd Winnick and Gullum March doing a pretty spectacular job with the cover. And the art actually is always amazing. I always think his art is just beautiful to look at, and just the coloring. Let's see, the person he works with really knows how to color his work. And let's see, let's get going here with, alright, she has probably broken up with the Gotham City Sirens, maybe, I think, unless that's not canon anymore, I guess, maybe, who knows. And she is just kicking around her apartment, I guess, before this action started, naked, and she's being attacked by these giant guys with skull masks. She's able to recover her costume and maybe, well, not her costume and her cats, and escapes just by the skin of her teeth in a pretty spectacular bra-like form. And this is actually pretty well written scene. She goes, well, okay, I'll just lie low for a minute and go back and get my boom! They blow up her fucking apartment. I love Gullum March's expression she puts on Catwoman's face here. It's quite funny. And also, Lindsay pointed out the cat has a similar expression too. And she needs a place to crash. She finds a friend of hers, Lola, who I'm not really familiar with up until this point. But it's DC Reboot. You can have like a best friend that you've had all your life that we never met up until now. And she needs some help. So she kind of helps her out finding, I guess, you know, another caper, which is like getting undercover here with Russian mob guys who are having quite a party. There she runs into a mob guy who apparently she had run-ins with during her Frank Miller prostitute days, maybe even before then, where he killed apparently a friend of hers or something like that. Well, she beats the shit out of him pretty handily, and then escapes. Now she's, actually that's kind of it. The end. Oh, and she fucks Batman. But now this is the thing, back when I reviewed Batman Incorporated all the way back 5 months ago, he and Selina are, well, first off, they know who each other are, and they're also sleeping together very obviously, even though it's not as obvious as this issue. And I had concluded that Bruce and Selina had become fuck buddies, and I'll be honest, that's probably the best way these two can have a relationship at this point. I mean, these two are so not relationship-friendly people. And there's always this wedge between the two of them that, you know, this line that each of them draw about, you know, crime and punishment and what's right and what's wrong. And they constantly try to tempt each other over on the other side, and none of them are budging. They're too goddamn stubborn. So, fuck buddy may be the way to go, as far as we can tell. And, well, then they have sex, which is actually a longer sequence than any of the action sequences in the story. And, let's see, done very graphically. I mean, okay, DC Reboot really did turn up the sex in this, actually. Let's see. My favorite panel in this whole thing is when they fall down together. I don't know why that makes me laugh when I see that. And by the way, in the Grant Morrison story, he's like lifting weights, and she kind of gets on top of him. And also in this issue, she's on top of him. So, you know, I'll be honest, I never suspected that Batman was the bottom in their relationship, frankly. I don't know, I just didn't even think about that, but I guess so. And this last page is just, I guess, I know this has stirred up kind of a controversy because the way it's portrayed. You know, it's obvious that they've had sex, you know, before, and that's been done before, and probably even more controversial issues have gone on, you know, with both of these characters, really. But there's something about the way this scene is just presented. And, hey, no one loves sex more than me, and no one loves sex in their comics more than me, frankly. And these are characters I really care about, so, you know, seeing them go at it, you know, I'm all about that, too. But I don't know, there's something about this sequence, and I've heard complaints about the way some women have been portrayed in this whole new relaunch thingy. And they've made a planned effort to target young men, specifically 18 to 34. I don't know what's so magic about that, but oh well. By the way, Manos here is 40, so I can go fuck myself, I guess. I'm still reading the comics, though. I don't care. And I don't know, when I hear things like that, and I see this kind of stuff, it does give me pause for thought. It's like, well, how gratuitous is this? And I'm not even a person who minds gratuitous sex and violence, you know. Sometimes it's just fun to see people fuck or kill in a story. It's fiction, so who cares? In real life, it's much different stories. But just watching this, and you know, here's the thing: if I heard no complaints, if I heard that DC was equally going after female readers as they were male readers, if everything else was done, if there wasn't like female characters getting lost in the shuffle, I actually probably wouldn't pay this any attention. Anybody complain, I'd go, hey, come on, it's fucking Catwoman and Batman, for God's sakes. Let them have a little tear. But now that I see all this other stuff, there's kind of a narrative forming, and this does kind of make me think, ooh, maybe this isn't as fun as I think. So it does, and also it's almost, this may sound weird, but it's almost like watching my parents fuck. If that makes any sense? Like here are these two characters I've known all my life that, you know, I've cared about, and I'm seeing an intimate moment between them. It's almost like a fan pick. Like you go on DeviantArt and you type in, hey, I want to see some pictures of Wonder Woman. And then it's a shot of her doing something really obscene to Batgirl or something like that. It's like one of those kind of things. By the way, if you're a kid, if you have kids and you go on DeviantArt to show them pictures of superhero, make sure you have the parental settings. Just word of warning, by the way. And because seriously, I'm not being a perv. Any character you look up for maybe 2 pages, you're gonna see something really obscene. So yeah, that's it. I mean, that's the thing we're talking about here. Is actually the sex. The plot is very thin, and it's somewhat mediocre. There's some really neat character moments here that, you know, Judd Winnick can always do. Even in his worst stories, he's always like really good at you know, putting the characters in scenes. I just wish the sex scene at the end was maybe just a little bit more emotional, if I have a personal complaint about it, because I love these characters, and I love these characters loving each other, and she's had a really rough, I don't know, a few days or week or whatever is going on, and she sees Batman, and she goes, you know what, hell with all this crazy crap we always deal with between the two of us. I've always wanted him, and I just really need him right now. Just to get my mind off this stuff, and it just feels good to be with him for just a minute. maybe if that was portrayed a little bit stronger, maybe the scene wouldn't seem so shallow, actually. Well, I think that's all I have to say about that. So, 3 gram chips, and good night.